Every fight starts with a journey. This one starts on the road out of Berwick. I built a life punching through the odds. Now I'm heading out to document a man who did it with a pen. Kevin Iole's been the voice behind the fight game for 4 decades. This is his final round, and I'm going to be there to capture it all. I'm leaving Berwick. Small town, but it's mine. Heading to Vegas to film something that means more than people might understand. Kevin Iole, the guy who's been ringside for about almost every major fight, is going to be cage side one last time. And somehow, I'm capturing it all. This isn't just a trip. It's the start of something I'll never forget.
Are we able to go in here, or what's going on? I mean, I guess we can. No one there.
For decades, Kevin Iole stood in these rooms, asking the tough questions, telling the real stories. He wasn't just covering the sport. He was part of it. Fighters knew it.
So it was a pleasure to talk to you as well, Kevin. So yeah, thank you for giving me some time and being gracious with your audience.
I'll never forget when you called me in the hotel room to do the interview, and you said, "It's Kevin Iole." I said, "I finally made it to the top."
Fans felt it. And now in these final moments with Chris Costello and Jeff Nowitzki, 2 of the people who helped shape this modern fight world. Kevin wasn't just saying goodbye to them. He was saying goodbye to a part of himself, the journalist, the witness, and the historian of combat sports.
There we go. I like it, man. I really respected everything you've done, man. You're really the best out there.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure.
No, I appreciate it. I know when we, when you and I started, we had that little, and it was kind of, I don't remember that. What was it? Dana called me and said, Jeff Nowitzki is mad at you. And I said, why would Jeff? I don't even remember that. Yeah, and he said, and he goes, if this guy was mad at you, you fucking did something.
I swear.
And I said, dude, I did. So it was over Brock Lesnar. And I said, you might as well not even have the broadcast.
Now I remember that. Yes. Now.
Lauren, and then right after Dana came up to me and told me you were mad at me, Lawrence called me, gets me in, he has a column highlighted with me on it, and I was talking to Lawrence and everything, so it was very fun.
Well, it didn't affect me too much because I didn't remember. That gets you reminded.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you. I appreciate that.
Take care.
Yeah.
As we walked out of the Apex, something hung heavy in the air. And Kevin said all the right things. He smiled, he shook hands, he gave thanks. But I could feel it. This place meant something deeper to him. This wasn't just a building. It was years of stories, moments, and memories etched into every corner. And I didn't know if he really wanted to hang it up. Maybe he does. Or maybe a part of him still wants just one more fight week, one more press row, one more chance to tell the world what he sees. Either way, I know this much. He is going to miss it. And honestly, I'm going to miss him too.
I used to do stuff on Yahoo all the time. It was cool. So yeah, congrats, man. It's great. Thank you. Not many of us, like even 10 years ago, there's not many of us.
He's done this 1,000 times. The handshake, the hallway nod, the walk through the curtain, the confidence of a man who's seen it all. But today it feels different. Maybe he's wondering if anyone else feels it. That slow pull of time, the whisper that this might be the last one. One more press room, one more round of fist bumps, one more night under the lights. Kevin Iole didn't just cover the sport. He became part of its heartbeat. Through every war, every title shift, every legend's rise and fall, he was there. But now it's a different kind of room. Tripods instead of notepads, iPhones instead of tape recorders. The voices rising today come from TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Loud, fast, and fleeting. And I wonder what Kevin thinks as he looks around. If he sees this coming, or what's already here. Is he ready to let go? Or is part of him telling him to hold on? Not to the spotlight, but to the rhythm, the ritual, the respect. Whatever he's feeling, one thing is clear. We won't see another one like him.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I got my love of sports from my dad. My dad fought in the Army, so that's how I got into fighting. And my dad and I, we used to watch fights all the time. So that was like a thing that, we had between us. We were huge Pittsburgh sports fans. So Steelers fans, Pirates fans, Penguins fans, it's kind of a rough time if you're a Pittsburgh sports fan now to root for those teams because of how bad everything is going. But I'm just a diehard sports fan, right? But I love combat sports. I was inspired by Muhammad Ali when I was a kid. I saw a lot of his fights on TV. I used to imitate him. On my bedroom door, I used to cut his pictures out of Sports Illustrated and hang them on my bedroom door. Loved Ali, lived for his fights, everything that Ali did. And, if you're younger, I don't think there's any athlete today that you can compare that people, if you weren't in that era when Ali was alive and when Ali was in his prime, that there's nobody that you can compare with now, no matter who the biggest person is, Tom Brady or whoever you want to say. Ali was one of the most recognizable people in the world. There's no question about that. His life was just so varied and so spectacular. And so I was just always interested in him.
I heard about Kevin retiring actually from George. He texted me and said, exact words, "Yo, we got to talk." And he called me up and he said that he's flying out to Vegas to do a little documentary on Kevin because Kevin's going to retire and this will be his last UFC event.
Kevin Iole at UFC Apex, UFC 317 on Saturday.
The last event for Kevin, I think it was a little mixed emotions. I thought what George mentioned to me, it could be a little bit of both. He's relieved that it's his last event, but also he's a little upset. He's a little mad that he has to leave this game, but it's something that he wanted to do.
Here's my Charles Oliveira story. Chris Mannix.
Most people don't realize this is his ring. The keyboard, the notes, the deadline. This is how Kevin fought. He didn't wear gloves. He used words. And he hit hard. Even now, on his last round, he's still landing clean shots.
All right.
There's something about watching a man do what he was born to do. No fanfare, no spotlight, just him, his thoughts, and a keyboard. This isn't just another story. It's his last one. You could feel it in silence.
I live here by myself. So I'll show you the back. We go back here. I work out here a lot on this patio. I'll sit out here. And I'll sit here. I got my outdoor kitchen over there. I can make lunch and whatnot. But I'm out here. I'll work until it gets too hot. And I got a nice little scenery, you know, so I'm happy with this for me. You know, pretty good. Malk has his dog door. Upstairs is my office. So this is just my library. Hey Siri, turn on library. My photos.
So you watch TV?
No, I watch down there. And a few more back this way. Some of my favorite fighters, not all of them, but some of them.
Oh, there you go.
The two frames that are empty. They had pictures in DC was in one, and Bisping was in another. And there's a certain dog whose name shall not be mentioned, who knocked the frames off the wall, and then chewed the pictures while Daddy was not home. Down this way is my office. So I have the Lombardi trophy. It's one of the Steelers' Lombardi trophies, which is not easy to buy.
You have your own belt.
The WBC belt. And look whose picture's on that. People didn't realize I could fight at one point. Just because I'm fat and old now doesn't mean I always was fat and old. And let's put that up there. And a couple more photos, me and Izzy. And you notice if you look here, who is my favorite? This is the Ali Frazier fight, Leroy Neiman of the Aftermath. You can see Ali right there and Frazier right there. That's when the fight was over before the scores were announced. Me and my tiger. And over here, this is my Pittsburgh wall. My two favorite Pirate players, Clemente and the captain. Over here, Secretariat. This was given to me by payperview.com. Dale Hopkins is the CEO, and she made this. This is the first day of KevinIole.com. She had that made up. This is my dog Malkin, painted by Brittany Palmer, the UFC Octagon girl. Me and Mayweather. That picture was taken by Mayweather, not by me. Ali Frazier, Ali Liston, Ali Foreman, Duran and Leonard. And you see me and Sugar Ray Leonard at the Hall of Fame induction there. I have to tell this because I love boxing, but I was ringside for 7 fighters who died in the ring while I was at a fight. And I remember there were 2 deaths within a couple month period. Martin Sanchez died at the Orleans. He was the person that I mentioned that fell into my lap. And then Levander Johnson was the IBF lightweight champion, and he died as a result of injuries 4 days later. The day after that fight, we were yelling, "Stop the fight, stop the fight." And the fight kept going on. They finally stopped it in the 11th round. I went to the hospital the next morning. Levander collapsed in his dressing room. I remember him walking back to the dressing room. He looked terrible. You're looking at him going, boy, this guy needs to get to the doctor right away. He collapsed in the dressing room. They emergency transported him to the hospital. And it was pretty obvious from the get-go that he wasn't going to survive. They had him on life support. So Sunday morning, I walked into the hospital, and his father, Bill Johnson, was his trainer. And I'm in the ICU, and I see Bill, and I walked over, and, he's obviously upset, and I give my condolence and ask how Levander's doing. And we're talking for a while, and he was remarkably composed for the fact that his son behind him is laying there dying. And then, all of a sudden, Jesus Chavez walks in the room. Jesus Chavez was the one that fought Levander. And here comes Chavez, and he's walking, and we're looking at him, and it's like, Levander, we know, is going to die. And the person who caused his death is now coming in. So Mr. Johnson sees him and says, "Congratulations, champ," which I thought was the most unbelievably classy thing that he could have said. And Jesus breaks up. And he's like, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't want this." And he said, "Champ, you just did your job. Champ, you did your job." And the two of them embraced, and I'm sitting right there, and I'm trying to be professional. I don't want to be crying right in where I'm covering this event. But it was pretty hard. And I remember leaving that day, and I said, I got to do something to try to make boxing better.
The octagon lights beamed down like a spotlight on destiny. And there he was, Kevin Iole, seated in his usual place alongside John Morgan. UFC 317 will be remembered for the rise of superstar Ilia Topuria, a star forged in the fire of battle. But behind the roar of a new champion, another chapter was quietly closing. One star rising, one star stepping away.
I thought you retired.
I am now in about an hour.
Well, congrats, and thanks for everything, Kevin.
Thank you, brother.
I watched Kevin do what he's done for decades. Head down, fingers flying, documenting the moment for fans around the world. No fanfare, no farewell. Just the final strokes of a master at work. We didn't leave the arena until almost 1 a.m. The lights were dim, the seats were empty, but I knew I just witnessed something greater than a fight card. I had just witnessed the end of an era.
Kevin, congratulations on retirement and an amazing career. You're an absolute fucking legend. You're a great person. You've done a tremendous job. You've inspired a ton of people in journalism and everything you do. And you've crossed some people over to become hockey fans. I don't even know how you did that for me. But congratulations. Enjoy your time in retirement. Enjoy your time relaxing. Enjoy everything you do in your downtime. We love you. Congratulations, brother.
And I started noticing that a lot of the articles that I enjoyed were all written by a man named Kevin Iole. Was I nervous? I was terrified the first time, partially because, this is somebody I follow all the time, care about from afar. Kevin, in one sentence to me, a friend, a mentor, and someone whose history is intertwined with combat sports history. His love for the fighters, it shows when he talks to them, not just in his writing, but you can see when Kevin's interviewing someone, he genuinely enjoys it. But after our interview, I kind of took a chance, and I said, Kevin, can I use your name as someone who is a supporter of myself and the show in the future as I'm trying to get new interviews? And Kevin believed in me enough and believed in the message enough that he gave me permission to call Randy Couture and say, Kevin Iole is a friend of mine and he'll vouch for me.
Kevin, it was always a pleasure to work with you. You were better than Ariel, as in like you didn't talk the shit. So I appreciate that.
I want to thank you, Kevin Iole, for 40 years of great coverage, not only in combat sports, but in Las Vegas and across the nation. No guts, no story. And you deserve to be in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Hey, what's up, Kevin? Congratulations on just an absolute legacy in this industry, man. You deserve it. Enjoy the time off. Go to a couple Knights games. I think they're going to be better next season. Congrats for everything you've done in your career, man. It's a hell of a career.
I'm sad that Kevin is actually retiring, but again, he's a friend of us and we will see him soon. And of course, Kevin, we'll text privately behind the scenes about all the shows and all the upcoming events.
And what began as a one-off interview turned into something I would have never expected. Kevin Iole didn't just open doors for me, he opened worlds. He welcomed me into spaces and moments I would have never imagined I would have seen. But what truly sets Kevin apart isn't just his legendary career. It's the way he made my family feel like his own. The way he embraced my wife, the way he embraced my brothers, sharing laughs and stories as if we'd grown up together. In a world where so many encounters are fleeting, Kevin left an imprint. He hit hard, not with his fists, but with his kindness, his generosity, and his belief in people. Kevin believed in me, and as I look back now, I know this friendship is a gift, one I will always carry with me, long after the final bell rings, long after the lights fade to black. So for everything you've done, Kevin, for the doors you've opened, for the love you've shown my family, and for the friendship I will always cherish, thank you.
No matter what, I tried my absolute best to deliver a quality product and that I loved what I was doing. I wanted people to see that I loved what I was doing.